Monday from Orange High School.
Happy Monday!
We have to have a talk.
About what?
What are you wearing?
I did it on purpose.
I know you did.
I knew it would bug you to death.
I'm wearing this shirt next week.
Okay, fine. I don't care.
Hey, Jasper, your mama has lost her mind.
See, that he always is fit that way.
But I love you.
Now, Jasper was talking to me earlier about types of coverage we can put in books.
Yes. What you got to say about it, Jasper?
He says there always should be...
We always bore him.
No, there always should be a mod on somebody's pet.
100. Look, even my cup has dogs.
I know. Jasper says more pets equal more buying of your books because everybody loves a good pet, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's really... You're hiding my shirt. Okay.
What about people who don't have pets? How could you include them on the page?
Well, gosh, there's so many different ways. I mean, there's so many things you can cover. So maybe they work or volunteer at the SPCA. What would be your dream pet?
If you were an animal, what would you be? I know what you would be.
Spirit animal.
You'd be a turtle.
Yeah, I would be a turtle.
I would be Lainey.
Hard on the outside and soft on the inside. So what are some fun things that you have covered, that we made stories of?
What about skate parks and BMX biking?
Mm-hmm. How about cooking?
Ooh, that's good. Recipes. Sharing your best recipes.
Sharing your best recipes. Everybody likes to do something like that.
What about fashion, but not like some people do fashion with what's trendy, but the person who has their own fashion. It's a little different than everybody else.
Right. I mean, there's I walk in schools, oh my man, she's killing it today.
Yes.
You know, like what they're wearing, the color of their hair, the way they just style their hair. I think all those are really, really fun. This is sort of like what we used to call student life. Yeah. Okay? It's about you guys. You're human. What you are. Yeah. What you like to do.
What makes you you, and what makes you as a unit your school.
Right. Exactly. There's so many things that we can cover. I mean, I have lists a mile long. In our resource folder,
right,
there are some ladder examples, and there's one that we took every month, and we put in there things you could be covering besides traditional events that could go in that part of the book, right?
I like to pick things that are on extremes. Either something that's really unique, like maybe you have an entrepreneur, maybe you have somebody who started a jewelry making business.
That reminds me of this Apex book a couple of years ago. They did these stories on kids, because sometimes your story is just, who is this kid, okay? Yeah. They did them, they were called mini dividers. Now, you wouldn't have to do them this big. You could put this as a mod in a section. But this girl, she was had already finished a degree in something. She was going on to a community, she already had an associate's degree. There was another kid in here. Oh, this girl, she was big into theater. Okay.
That's so cool. And then on the opposite end of the spectrum, this is focusing on one person and what makes them different. But what if you pick things that everybody can relate to? For example, what time do you get up in the morning?
Oh, very early.
I get up as late as humanly possible. I am not a morning person. I can stay. Have you ever noticed my 2 a.m. emails? I am so much more efficient at night. And in the mornings, I move like a sloth, and I guarantee you that you have people on your campus that fit all the different ends of the spectrum.
You can do people's what's your day? What are you doing at 7? What do you have for breakfast? What are you doing? What's your class schedule? I mean, there's so many things.
How many empty water bottles are in the backseat of your car?
Oh, I love this spread too. I used to do one on a desk.
Yes.
The desk during the day? Who sits in it every period of the day, and you do a story on that desk and what that desk says about those people. That's so much fun.
I like it. What about how many fully put together outfits could you make out of your backseat? Because athletes, right? They come to school dressed, and then they change into their practice clothes, and they never empty their backseat. So you got a bunch of stuff back there.
Or in a private school that you wear a uniform. How many ways can you mix and match to still make dress code, right?
What can you add your personal touch to and not cross that line? That's always fun.
We're always about personalization. Kids like to personalize their phones.
Yeah.
What's my cell phone case look like?
Right.
What does it say about me?
Does yours have a turtle on it?
It has an ocean
Oh, mine has rainbows. So
Okay.
yeah, those are very us. Yeah.
It's very us.
Yeah.
What their backpack is personalized. And now, more than ever, they're Crocs.
Yes.
You know?
Yes, those little gibbet things.
Yes, and I could not remember what they were called.
Gibbets.
And it was at Montgomery Central the other day, and I think she's the one who told me they're called gibbets.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh yeah, because when Sam was little and he had them little bitty Crocs, and he had a couple little gibbets in there, you know.
They took up the whole shoe.
They did, but they were so cute. And like what those gibbets mean to you, that is, people are personal, you know. I mean, I'm not a big tattoo and piercing person. It's just not my style. And remember that there's some things you have to be a certain age to have, so be careful if you're putting stuff like that in your yearbook, because some people may not have parent permission to have had that, or you just don't know. Be careful, is all I gotta say. But there's so much out there, guys. Think about your daily lives. Fast food restaurant, where do you go for lunch? Do you bring your lunch? What do you eat every day for lunch? My husband eats the same thing every day for lunch. That would drive me crazy.
My kid eats a bologna sandwich every day. That's so gross.
Yeah, well, and you know, Mark has his carrots at lunch, and he says that's his vegetable for the day.
That's what my guinea pig eats every day.
Exactly. So there's just, the world is out there. Yeah. Look at the yearbook as a mini micronism of the whole world. You know, like the whole world, what's going on.
I like your book to look like your school. So if you're at an all-girls school, then of course you're going to have all girls in the book. So we're not asking for everything to be equal, but we want the demographics of your school and the demographics of your book
to be representative. They want to be somewhat, you know, you want to make sure you're getting every person, every type of person, every individual that you possibly can.
Right. So sometimes you will see coverage that tends to favor one group of people. For example, athletes. A lot of times are going to be covered a lot, because if you have a pep rally, athletes are there. If you have a game, athletes are there. Right. These are things that are going to be covered more. Therefore, when you have some room for fun coverage, let's find a way to cover the skateboarder kid, the band kid, the quiet kids, the ones who love to read, the ones who, right, like pick those kids that are not already covered by the default coverage that you always do.
Because that's event coverage, basically. Event coverage will be of certain things. Like it's predetermined. So do the human story. Go find the kids at school that you would not believe. This book, I will never forget. There's one in here about a kid who invented a machine that handicapped people can take their groceries to their car for them. And it was actually picked up by a startup in Southern California to develop, and the kids sold, you know, that invention. Wow. There's another one in here, like a kid who had read like 1,000 books. You know, I mean, those are things I would not know about people unless I do my research. And that's where we're going to end this, is you got to get out there and ask questions. You can't just be in your own friend group. You're a journalist now. You're a yearbooker. You got to talk to people, and you got to ask the right questions, right?
That's right.
And by that, remember what I said the other day at a school, you got to allow the person you're talking to the chance to talk. Don't just go with questions that can be answered quickly. Say things like we said, tell me more. I don't know about that. Can you explain it to me? Give them a chance to talk. And that's where you'll get your good stories.
That's right. All right.
All right. Get out there, get the story, get great pictures, and do great designs.
See you next week.
We know what clubs there are at Sanderson because we check the Instagrams, we email the advisors, and the PTO sends out an email every month. Hey, do you know when Pickleball Club is having their meetings?
I don't, but I can check the Instagram.
Okay, and then I can email the advisor.
Not only that, but we listen to announcements, we look on bulletin boards, and we talk to our peers.
Oh, I know. One of my friends is in the Pickleball Club, so I can ask them when they're meeting.
Okay, perfect. And then I can figure out what the championship is.
Perfect. Okay, so we have this spreadsheet that I made with the date of the clubs and then when they are, what time, and where they're meeting. And anytime someone's going to a club, they just tell me and I put down their name.
And not only will we put down their names, we put down what camera they're taking, what time they're going, and what people we need to get coverage of.
And what SD card they're using.
Right.
Okay, so we're contesting.
I love a contest.
I know. All right, so we've got great prizes. And because of that, they got to follow the rules.
That's right. No rule breaking. Everything has to be in on the correct day that it is scheduled for and in the right format.
That's right. So use the PDF. There's links there where you can click to submit your videos or your photos. Videos can be texted to me if that's easier, but everything else needs to be submitted on that Google form. Has to be by midnight the day of. It has to be current. Don't pull something old.
Nope. If it's old and it's got the wrong date on it, we're not going to accept it.
That's right.
We got to be marketing now. Halloween is coming. Think about what you can do.